Hi, I'm Robin Butler with NOAA Certified. Thanks for joining us today. So exactly what is propane? It begins as a liquid and it's stored in a tank, much like the one that you see right here beside me, but it turns into a gas. It starts out at a liquid at minus 44 degrees. You have to be careful with it as a liquid because it can cause frostbite in such a negative coldness, but it comes in larger tanks. This one here is a 5-gallon tank, or it's actually 4.7 gallons, but they call it a 20-pound tank. And there's also 30-pound tanks. A lot of tiny houses use larger tanks or dual tanks, but it's a great way to utilize for your cooking, your heating, and there's even some other RV type refrigerators that you can use propane as your energy source. But it's piped at a low pressure, usually about 3 pounds, and we test the piping that you utilize to a 10-pound pressure when we do our tests. And you can go on to NFPA 1192 and find out exactly what types of pipes you can use when you're using propane. To be careful with propane, you want to make sure that you observe all the warning labels. The manufacturer will put warning labels in the areas that are necessary, like keep the propane outside of your house, not inside the house, in a well-ventilated area, etc. And there's warning labels about the use of propane. You want to inspect it for any kind of corrosion, fatigue, or wear and tear. And you want to inspect the appliance itself for the connection to the piping of the propane, but also for any kind of rust or corrosion. You want to make sure that the lines are not rubbing against each other or against a sharp edge. Could create an issue or a leak in the propane gas. And then you want to be careful of your combustion air. Not only if you have a fireplace, let's say, that's propane, you would need combustion air for that, but also any appliance on the inside is actually burning, and so it would be burning and turning the oxygen into carbon monoxide, and so you would need some combustion air coming in to support that appliance. And then inspect your vents, your exterior vents, for debris, twigs, spider webs, bugs. Anything that can get up in there can cause an issue with the ventilation of your appliance. And then as far as your safety detectors, there are several that we want to see in your tiny house. One is a propane detector, or what they call a sniffer. Additionally, we would like to see a smoke detector and a CO detector. Now, sometimes they come together as one unit, a smoke and CO detector. However, smoke rises and CO, usually, or carbon monoxide, stays low. So it's not wrong to have them together and in a high location. However, smart way to do it would be to put the smoke detector high and a CO detector low. Check your batteries in your detectors. If they're just strictly a battery backup, then you have also the 110, and then the battery acts as a backup. But if it's strictly a battery, they do have some 10-year batteries now that will last for 10 years. So you can just do strictly battery. And in addition to another safety device would be a Class BC fire extinguisher. That fire extinguisher is required to be visible and within 2 feet of your front door. So what do you do when you smell propane? First of all, propane has a distinctive smell, and if you've ever smelled it, you'll remember, I know that smell. If you do have it, turn off your appliances, your lights, your cell phones. Do not use those. Turn off the gas supply if you can safely get to that gas supply. Open your doors and windows to ventilate, and then call 911 so that the fire department can come out and check things out. And before you restart, turn on your propane, call a technician and make sure that he will test everything. There's several ways to test for leaks in propane. But all in all, it's a very useful and great way to heat and to cook. However, there are some safety measures that we'd like to see all of you taking to make sure that you live in your tiny house with life safety and fire safety. So I hope this was helpful, and on behalf of Robin Butler and our propane friend here, We'd like for all of you to be safe and secure, pursuing freedom to live.